Well, it's official. I think I'm going mad. This is a video in response again to something on the forum, but this is more profound, and the good days, bad days video from last week has opened up. My brain is freaking exploding, and it's, in a way, validating the way that I teach, thank goodness. But I've just learned some things in the last week that everyone who's interested in learning anything, especially the trumpet here, if you're a subscriber here or you're not yet, come and check out Windworks. You'll love it. But this is a reply to a forum thread in the course based on the video I put up last week about good days, bad days, and the learning process. So there's a new thread here called Neuroplasticity, Why Your Brain. And thanks to a wonderful guy named Brian, was 20 years as a molecular neuroscientist. And he posted a little video that I'm going to post under here. And it's also in response to last week, a wonderful friend named Sean Royce from California, Trombone 101, please check it out, sent me a video from a guy named Andrew Huberman, who is a neurologist professor at Stanford University. And I'm just trying to keep calm here and get the messaging right because it's really complex. So, as you know, I'm dealing with a lot of focal dystonia students. And I introduced you last week to the portrait. And I just thought, here's a portrait. Here's a day where things went really well. So I'm rambling already. Firstly, Brian here on the forum showed this little video, which I'm posting, about neural cells, the brain cells, the neurons connecting. And this is happening all the time. And John, I'm just going to go to your comment, perfect practice versus not correcting mistakes. So I'm not saying that you're wrong, but correcting mistakes, this is the wild part. And it validates when I say, I hit a ball, slice it. Hit it again. Hit a ball, slice it. Hit a ball, Turns out, now, don't even know that I can remember the words yet. It's epinephrine. I think it's epinephrine or epinephrine. Norepinephrine, right? And acetylcholine. The two chemicals that get released when we make a mistake. Right? An error. Here lies the key to neuroplasticity. These chemicals get released. You've said to the brain, I want to do this. And there's studies all about this. Consider this, right? They used prism glasses. And I'm going to put the link to this podcast that has just shone a big light on a lot of stuff. That they did a study where you put funny glasses on and the glasses across here, but you see it as being straight in front of you. So you got the glasses on, you can see the glass in front of you, and you go to grab it and it's not there. Something's gone wrong and the body reacts. And then you go, that's weird. Sure, it's there. Hang on, no, it's there. No glass, but I can see it. Something's not right. Brain's releasing chemicals. Hang on. There's an error here. We don't like errors. All of a sudden, hand across further, and the fingernails hit the glass. And there's a release of dopamine. It's a bit of excitement. We're on the right path. Positive. Ooh, what just happened there? Then, so we deduce that it must be here. So even though it looks here, the glass is across here. then all of a sudden the brain connects. I see it there. So what does my arm need to do if I see something here? It needs to go out there. There's neuroplasticity right there. I'm seeing it here. Oh, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's right. That feels different. That's not what I expected. Here it is. So that's pretty wild. Having like that understanding of the chemical reactions and why what I know instinctively that if something's going wrong, do it again and do it again and do it again. So why is that important for Windworks? It's all based on the sensation and it's being process driven. Now you've heard me say it a lot. Process driven. What is the process of what we want? If we instruct the body to do something on a sensation and a feeling, and that's why I use, I've got to grab it, the magnifying glass to understand the sensation of what we're doing. Right? So we understand the feeling that we want. And then we go, right, what's the result that we want? And the result might be a beautiful low C, but I'm only allowed to be passive and I want it to feel like humming. And all of a sudden you try that and it doesn't work. The brain goes into panic mode and resorts to the 101 wiring or the 1.0 wiring that you've got. I've played a low C before, so I know how to do it. And you activate the abdominals and you tighten the lips and you push harder. But then this part of the brain here goes, no, that's not what we want. No, really? No, remember, what do we want? Well, remember how we were humming? That's how I want you to do it. But that's not how you play trumpet. You've got to engage the abdominals and you've got to tighten the lips. No, I get that. That's last year. That's 1.0 wiring, but we're going to be 2.0 wiring now. So we're going to do it like this. What did the hum feel like? Yeah, well, the hum felt like, but that's got nothing to do with trumpet playing. Well, guess what? It does. And you can feel the same. Really? Yep. How? Well, and then we go into the understanding of the mechanics. So the understanding is intellectual, it's knowledge. That's not neuroplasticity, it's just understanding. The neuroplasticity of having the body respond to the understanding is the point. Now, as I said in the last one, muscles don't have memory. That last video was done before Andrew's video. I'm just pointing that out. Muscles don't have memory. Muscles are triggered by this bit up here. But this bit, the programming could be wrong. But this bit wants the process to be right. And ironically, this bit controls this bit. So what am I getting at? If you want the body to do something else, you've got to get this bit thinking about it in the right way. And there's zero tolerance for anything that we don't want. So let's think about this. As long as, let's make an assumption here, that anatomically speaking, your body is perfectly functional, right? So I'm going to talk about your perfect note. Your perfect note based on your current ability, your subjectivity to the sound that you want to make, age, experience, everything plays a role in producing your optimal perfect note. My perfect golf swing, I'm turning 50 the day of my ITG second presentation. I don't have the flexibility or strength of, someone who's 25 or a Bryson DeChambeau who's pumping up in his incredible Hulk and belting the ball 400 meters. I don't have that, but I can still have a perfect golf swing for me, for my physiology, for my age, for my flexibility. And that's what I want from you, your perfect low C, right? And people say, don't use the word perfect. Let's get it to the best that you can, let's get the optimum sound with the optimum work or optimum relaxation, whatever. So think about this. any musculature activity is either voluntary or involuntary from up here, right? Or we can consciously go, hey, send this message so my arm lifts up, right? But my heart's still pumping and I'm still sitting up straight. I don't have to think about that consciously, right? Because it's all taken care of. But all of this wiring can be controlled via the conscious mind through. It's messaging. Think of it as the circuit board or a computer program, whatever you like. The only reason muscles are switching on and off is because of the programming. And I've got a term called zero tolerance, right? And this is where the awareness of eyes closed and sensation is so damn important. I was teaching a dystonia student the other day, and she had an incredible breakthrough. She's playing, there's no reaction. Then I said, stand up and sit down while you're playing. Now, if those of you that know about focal dystonia, to get her to be symptom-free and stand up and sit down whilst sustaining a note is an achievement. It means that the wiring, the programming that we've been doing has gone across. Does that mean it's saved forever? Not yet. It will be. There is repetition involved. But the programming's starting to work. However, we had another person join the call, and I said, hey, play us a note. She goes, I'm not going to do that. Fear, fight and flight. And then a few things transpired. She's gone, but I've got focal dystonia. And Greg, let's say, got a little bit animated because I've spent a lot of time talking about the fact that whether you've got focal dystonia, whether you've got flaws in your playing, your trumpet, or whether you've got a slice in your golf swing, I don't care where they came from, why they came from. The slice comes from instinct, my instinct about hitting the ball, where the ball should go, right? So in the cycle of T's, the elements, technical everyday elements, my instinct had this one's good, this one's good, this one's good, grip, stance, say, but the plane of my swing, the back swing, the follow through, the this, the that, they're not right. So I've got to train them individually. And there's another point that Andrew talks about as we get older, little bits of stuff, little elements. He didn't use that word, but I do. Break it down, little elements, program that element and do it and be happy to get it wrong time and time and time again. Because when you get something wrong, that's the key to improvement. As I said last week, on a platter, this is what you need to work on, right? So you're working through the course. People aren't looking as to what they can't do, closing their eyes and feeling it. Anyway, so the words, I have dystonia, shows a psychology of dystonia. Here you go, I am dystonia and I can't play the trumpet. No, 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 no. Wait a minute. Yes, I'm not putting up with this. Yes, you are, because I'm in control, was what was happening. And it got to the point where I threatened to never teach the student again. Now, that might be harsh without you knowing the backstory, but it worked. There was more to it. She couldn't even hum a note. Wouldn't hum a note. There's a lot of psychology going on here. Very heavy, very deep. I'm not being mean. I'm not being cruel. I just said hum a note because it's about the performance. There is a threat. There is a perceived threat, even though the three of us there are friends. There is embarrassment and there is shame and there is a perceived threat. She couldn't even hum. And I've gone, that's okay. This is after a landmark thing an hour ago, playing best ever, personal best. Play us a note. No, I can't do that. Got to hum a note. No. Close your eyes and just hum a note. No, I can't do it. Sorry, I can't do it. So there is a big block. There is a psychological block there. which you could write a thesis on. Books, that's fine. I get that. We know that's there. This is the whole process of working on the condition. And it's learning. This is the whole thing. It relates to everyone because it's just learning, and we've got different blocks in our belief system and our, there's fear, there's shame, there's embarrassment, there's no belief I can do it. But we've got a body that works perfectly. So how do we play our perfect note? So I've gone, this might seem harsh. Either hum me a note with your eyes closed. No, I'm saying it with love. Smile. Hum me a note with your eyes closed. Or what's the other option? If you're saying, no, I'm not going to do that, well, then that translates to, I'm going to quit playing because I love having dystonia and I don't want to play trumpet. I'd prefer to have focal dystonia. There's nothing mean about saying that because that's what I'm being told. I'm not prepared to hum. The reason I'm not prepared to hum is because I don't want to play. Therefore, dystonia wins. So I would prefer to have dystonia than not have dystonia. I'd prefer to have dystonia and not play than hum for you right now. So I said, either tell me that you're happy with dystonia or hum a note. She goes, I'm not going to do that. Oh, okay. So this is where zero tolerance comes in. I had to take control. There is messaging going on up here. Now, remember this for everything that I'm about to say. Muscle activation is a result of mental programming. I know what I want her to do. She's not capable of doing it psychologically. Physically, she is. Psychologically, she's not. So it's a bunch of ideas. There's an energy. I know what I want her to do. It's in my head what I want her to do. It's in my head what I want you guys to do at the course. How do I get that through to her? I need to take control. So I said, okay, George. Oops, just said the name. You're gonna meet it. A lot of you know her anyway. So it's all coming out. It's great. Either hum me a note or tell me that you're happy having dystonia, or I'm not going to be at your lesson on Wednesday. I'm not going to turn up. In fact, I'll probably never teach you again. Is it brutal? It's blackmail. I don't care. We're working on a project. It's 2 years. And because this third person had arrived, the threat went right up. Okay? So there is a serious psychological block going on, which is fine. This is the condition. But zero tolerance of anything. What's the mantra? I want to eliminate any involuntary activation of muscles that we don't need to use. They're muscles that are being used because of our wiring. I am not accepting that wiring. I'm not accepting the psychology. Yeah, but I've got dystonia. No. That's not me going, I can't hit the ball straight. Yeah, because I've got a slice. No. So she goes, I need to go to the loo. I said, take your trumpet with you. And they've both gone, huh? What? Take your trumpet with you. And she took her trumpet, of course, and then went upstairs, played some notes. Her husband goes, that's the best you've sounded. Amazing. Came back down. She told us, I just played some notes upstairs. It was amazing. Fantastic. Play for us. No. She goes, I'll play near the door. Went, okay, play near the door. Then I heard a trumpet sound. We got the result. It's not the ideal result. It's not her standing there going, check it out, guys. That's coming. This was a step towards it. I even said, righto, move forward by a foot or an inch. Move forward by another inch. Move forward by another inch. And play a note each time. Creeping forward, just touching. Where's the tender spot? Righto. Now put it where we can see your bell just in the side of the screen. No, can't do that. So, all right, come in and sit down, but turn your chair around. And I won't ask any more. Turn your chair around and play a note at the back. We've got this chart where the switch has happened. You'll learn all about this. It's coming up. But when the dystonia switches off and it switches to calmness and you can play. It's wild. And she's ticked about 250 boxes over the last 3, 4, 5 months. Big green ticks. So every time you come into the room, you see big green ticks and you go, oh, look at that. Shows it's like the positive portrait. I can do it. I can't do it all the time, but I'm learning. That's okay. But look at the reminder. I can do it. And I said to her, all right, if you're not prepared to hum, just close your eyes and hum. Grab your switch chart and just rip it up, rip it up, rip it up, throw it out. And she would never do that. There's too much invested in it. But that's the depth that I had to go to get this voice that is actually sitting there in her going, I want to do this, I want to do this. We've spoken about it since. She does want it badly. But there's this big psychological block that we're slowly working on. And the psychological block exists with some of the or tissue visualizer, all the exercises at the course. It's all really relevant, right? So she ended up playing and we got an amazing result because for 15 to 20 minutes, probably even longer, and I've got it all, saying, come on, Jules, you know, there's this reason to do it and this reason to do it. We have this great experience and I don't want you've got this opportunity to play now and I don't want the moment to pass and then you're going to feel regret because you didn't do it. And, you know, we've had things in the past where I'd ask you to do it and you couldn't do it and you wouldn't do it. But 6 months later you did it and you felt great and all of a sudden we're developing. But it doesn't need to take that long. You've got an opportunity right now to take a big step forward and I don't want you to miss the opportunity. No, can't do it. And it was after all of this for about 20 minutes of coming up with every damn reason why, just a little note, just pick up the instrument and it doesn't matter if a note comes out at all. I don't expect it to be the perfect note. I call it the rodeo when everything's really reacting. I don't mind if there's a full rodeo, even if it's for 2 seconds. I just want you to pick up your instrument and do it. No, not going to do it. So that's when I had to go down for her sake, not because I'm an asshole, to go, that's fine, Jules. If you don't want to do it, tell me that you've got dystonia and you don't want to play anymore, or hum a note, or I'm not going to teach you anymore. I will not be there and secretly I would have. Shh, don't tell her that. But I said I won't be there on Wednesday. I will not be there. You've got to do this. It's your choice. Because this is the battle between the conscious mind going, I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. But it's an addiction overpowered by the, you're not doing it, you're not doing it, you're not doing it. I want it, you're not doing it. I want it, you're not doing it. So it's a big battle. So imagine this. This is really out there, but it's really important if I can get you to understand. There are issues, there are things that you cannot do in the course. If I put you to the final page of the ultimate level, I think that 99.9% of the people on the planet cannot play it. That's why I've put it there, to aspire towards it. And then we go, what can I do? What can I kind of do? What can't I do? Right? What can you do? What's the first element in the technical? And I'm starting to develop this. It's making more sense now. The T's, technical everyday elements. For the purpose of this, that can change for everyone, but for us, it's stillness, breathing through the nose, lowering the jaw, humming, lowering the jaw, tissue, visualizer, mouthpiece, lead pipe, trumpet. There's the clock. There's the technical everyday elements, right? People with dystonia can't sit in stillness, calmness. There's anxiety because we're about to play. We're in the practice room. We're about to play. Anxiety. Wiring from the brain, releasing chemicals, norepinephrine, epinephrine, norepinephrine, or there's adrenaline or cortisol apparently, but there's probably a bunch more. But anxiety is a tightening through the nervous system. Humming actually fixes it. Vagus nerve, I could talk about that for an hour. I've been panicking that this is going too long, but I'm going to turn it into one of those trumpet chats. It's too important. So we might be here for another half an hour. The vagus nerve carries serotonin through the body, calmness. And when it gets tight through anxiety, the serotonin doesn't flow, or there's inhibitors or something like that. I'm only just learning this stuff, but it makes sense to me because we all know the sense of anxiety. And I think I've told you a story about recording for all the music. Maybe I haven't put it publicly, for the Commonwealth Games here in the Gold Coast, and I had to play with a local orchestra, and the butterflies were going before I played. Started humming to just warm up and remind myself to play efficiently, and the butterflies went away. And I'm talking to someone and they say, oh, that's the vagus nerve. And the vibration of the hum stimulates the flow of the relaxing chemicals. And this is what's gone a full circle. Understand, because I can see in the body when people are either anxious or whether they're tight, engaged, but I can certainly spot fear, right? And so dystonia is based on fear. So people with dystonia can't often sit in calmness. So then this is where the portrait on the wall becomes important. You can't sit in stillness, heart's going a million miles an hour. You're about to play trumpet. You've had a traumatic experience. You don't want to play trumpet. Yes, I love playing trumpet. Remember that time where I played the gig and it felt great, it sounded great, and we had a ball? Yeah. Well, let's do that again. Oh, well, that was fun. Correct. Right, let's go. What's the first step? Let's just sit in stillness. Let's be calm. Great. So then we perfect sitting in stillness until the point where we can't not sit in stillness. There's no anxiety about sitting here with the intention to play. And we can imagine playing and there's no anxiety. So there's no tightening in the body. There's no involuntary muscle activation based on what the brain's doing. Right? Great. Perfect. Element one, tick. Like imagine a big safe or a big lock and the pin goes in. Tick. Right. Still can't unlock it because all the other pins aren't in yet. Righto. Terrific. What's next? What's the next element? We're breathing in through the nose. Taking a bigger breath than what you would use to sustain life. Because you don't have to take a big deep breath to sustain life. That's taken care of from another part of the brain. It's involuntary. It's doing it on its own, right? And it's keeping us alive. But we can take a voluntary breath and breathe in more deeply. Okay, so we instruct our body to do that. How do we instruct the body to do it? Send a message to the circuit board. And all of a sudden, we've gone from stillness, and we're going to breathe in through the nose very slowly. Wait a minute. What are you doing? Oh, we're just going to play some trumpet. I thought we had an agreement. Yeah. The picture's The picture's good, but I don't want to play the trumpet. Hang on, I thought we've had this conversation. Yeah, we have. Great. So we want to play the trumpet, right? Right. We need to take a breath to play the trumpet, right? Right. Okay, so let's take a breath. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. There's an understanding and an acceptance and a belief. All of a sudden, we're on path. Beautiful. Connection made. Lovely. So there's no stress involved with stillness. There's no stress involved in taking a breath. Awesome. Right. Of course, we need to involve the mouth, so we're just going to lower the jaw. Okay, so we're going to be in stillness. Great. Going to hum. Breathing through the nose. I skipped a technical element there. We're going to hum first, right? There's a bit of irony in the humming. We're going to hum. What are you doing? Well, we're going to play the trumpet, right? Yeah. Well, we don't hum when we're playing. Well, we're going to use the humming just as an efficiency tool to learn to not over-engage and use too much in the body. We're just going to play nice and relaxed, and it's really relaxing to hum, right? Yeah. Well, we're going to play. We're going to let the lips interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords. Yep, I know that old Greek mantra. Heard that a million times. Great. Well, let's put it into action. I'm going mad. Hang on, what are you shaking for? Well, you want to. You're telling me that I got to hum, and that's got to do with playing the trumpet, and I don't want to play the trumpet. Well, hang on. We've had this conversation. What? You want to play the trumpet, right? Yep. Sure? Yeah. Look at the portrait. Ha ha ha! Terrific. Rightio. Radio. Well, we're both saying radio. So, you're going to play the trumpet. Yep. We're cool with our eyes closed, sitting in stillness. Oh, I love it. We're going to breathe in through the nose. Well, good. Duh. We need to breathe to play the trumpet. Thank you. We're going to play the trumpet as if it's the same feeling as humming. Oh, okay. Cool. Yep. Got it. Yep. Groovy. Cool. What's 1 + 1? 2. You're all over it. Well done. Here we go. Cool. So the eyes closed element, the stillness, the breath in through the nose, nailed, no anxiety, can do it physically. The voice, can do it physically. 3 pins, tick, 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 tick. Right. Now, unfortunately, the way the brain works is repetition is required. Because what will happen, you go, what's 1 + 1? 3. No, it's 2. Oh, yeah, of course it's 2. Got it? Yep. Good, let's go. What's 1 + 1? 3. No, it's 2. Oh, yeah, that's right. What's 1 + 1? 2. Fantastic. Got it? Yep. Hey, yeah? What's 1 + 1? 3. No. No, that's not it. It's 2. Oh, yeah, that's right. Got it. It's 2. What's 1 + 1? 2. Ah, you got it. What's 1 + 1? 2. Ah, you got it. What's 1 + 1? 2. Ah, cool. You go back the next day. What's 1 + 1? 3. This is what's going on, right? So we have to go around the cycle of the technical elements. Think of it, pins in a lock. You lock them all in and the lock opens. Okay, so that's the repetition of the invitations. We're inviting the body to go, that doesn't mean you pick up the trumpet and you go, you might go and do all the things you've always been doing. That means that the elements haven't turned up to the party yet, but they will if you keep inviting them, hence the repetition. And have the smart people going back to Largo all the time. I know I'm ranting, but this is what's happening. It's really important. So when I disrupted the rejection of the humming and singing yesterday, I know the wiring that I want and I need to play. And we're constantly rewiring or maintaining our current wiring. And this is where there was such a problem yesterday, is because I sat there and listened to the amygdala and the reptile brain and all this stuff yelling at me saying, I've got dystonia. And I'm saying to Jules, shut it up. I don't want to talk to it anymore. Because I know you want to play. Yeah, of course I do. What's 1 + 1? 3. No, I'm not going to listen to it. I've got zero tolerance for it. And we've got the relationship where I can go pretty hard. And I've just gone, I'm not accepting it anymore. So I had to use control to make the situation change. And it was either tell me you want to keep dystonia or you want to, or you'll hum with your eyes closed for me, because humming creates a tremor, and the tremors are embarrassing. I understand. I know why people with dystonia don't talk about it, because they're mortified by it. But this is the issue. You can get over it. You can get over it. You can reprogram. And the process is the same as learning the instrument. This is the same thing. This is why I'm going mad. I hit a 42, with the exception of one guy last night at golf. I beat everyone in the booth who've been playing all their lives and playing left-handed after 12 months. Why? Visualization of what it's doing. So repeating that ideology is maintaining and cementing, as it says in the forum here, it maintains the connection. So we've got to reject things that we don't like. If there is something wrong with our playing process, you've got to switch it off by rejecting it consciously to reprogram the conscious minds. I've got my programming of what I want her to do. So think of it, that my mouth, my eyes, my expression, my volume, everything is what I've got in my being to get the message across, the thought process. And then the thought process goes through the camera, into her eyes, into her ears. And the message goes up here. And this one goes, what's the message? Oh, yep, that's the message. And send it across. So I took away the opportunity for this to be in control for her, because the threat was so big that it wasn't worth the price that it was going to cost, which in this case was me not teaching her on Thursday, which is survival instinct, right? And you have a look at Andrew's video. If you really want results, if you're really hungry for it, the more you want it, the quicker it's going to come, as long as you're adhering to process. Why did I do left-handed? Because it's far enough removed from what is familiar to open up neuroplasticity. When I go, ow, it's far enough removed from the way that you play to open up plasticity. And then people go, Greg, but I can't play the trumpet like that. So I go, yeah, you can, but it's going to be a low note and a pedal note, right? And think about that. A lot of people watching will have been looking at my stuff going, what the hell? And it creates frustration. I can't do that. That's how you learn, right? You try it, you do the process, and you observe the result. And with an understanding of the mechanics of it, was a pedal tone. I've demonstrated it enough now that you should know. And then that's connected to your playing. But as soon as you're on board with the belief system, then these two are in sync, and we're prepared to do things that are strange because we have to do things differently to make a difference to our playing. It's all based on the belief system, right? So the messages from here go through the body. Negative messages go through and release negative chemicals, and the body spasms and all sorts of horrible things. And great experiences like slice the ball, slice the ball, slice the ball, slice the ball. Oh, it didn't slice as much. It's on the edge of the fairway, but it's not straight. Dopamine release. It's getting better. And that's what you're going to have when you sit through a horrendous process of, tissue. Why is the tissue not going there? Visualizer there. That feels ridiculous. I can't play like that. Am I being vague? Maybe I'm being really vague and everyone think I'm mad. Oh, well, you're watching someone go mad. It's so, in a way, such a simple system. It's very logical. It's very, very complex, and it's amazing. But simply put, our conscious mind can program our subconscious mind, which programs what the body wants to do. everyone at WindWorks can play every exercise in the entire course. What can I do? What can I kind of do? What can't I do? What isn't the body doing, or what don't I understand to get me to the end line? That's the question. I think that's a good place to finish. And I think, but interestingly, this is an amazing thread. And John, thank you for replying and getting involved. Everyone should be reading that link, because I'm not teaching you how to play the trumpet in WindWorks. Trumpet's the vice. I'm teaching you how to learn. And I've got my instincts about how to learn based on my own experiences and, to me, what's logical. But now, because I'm opening this up, I'm getting, there are 3 people from the neuroscience world that have come into my universe because I've put it out there, and it's important. And if you're serious about fixing your playing or improving your playing, changing your playing, you've got to make changes. So I'm teaching you how to make changes and how to recognize the positive or negative chemical reactions, the positive or negative physical reactions, your ability, what can I do, your inability, what can't I do, and how to bridge the gap. What's 1 + 1? 2.